Hi guys, thank you very much for coming back to my studio, and in this video I'd like to share with you about my brief thought, spontaneous thought concerning the aftermath of the recent tragic events in Myanmar, Southeast Asia, where apparently 7.7 magnitude of earthquake struck Mandalay, which so far they said up to 1,700 deaths, or could be more, and also apparently hundreds still missing under the rubble. And because of this powerful earthquake actually reached Thailand, apparently, the neighboring countries, which caused a few unfinished towers to collapse. This is certainly tragic events, and having said that, this such event, the tragic natural disaster, is actually precedented, and of course it's not going to be the end. It's happened before and happened again. From what we understand is these deaths because of this natural disaster of the earthquake, what we've seen so far, we've seen numbers on the social media platform, YouTube's, all kind of social media, in the news, all about repetition stories, but none really come up with possibly a solution. No one could prevent, could stop earthquake, but we have to bearing in mind the death not because of the earthquake itself. It's actually the building, the man-made structure that collapsed and fall on people. For example, we see in the news these events happened years back, happened in Nepal, and where the death, again, thousands of deaths, and of course to do with the building structure that collapsed on people and buried under the rubble. And again, in the recent aftermath, last Friday, after the earthquake in Myanmar, we could see some of this video footage, terrifying footage. I feel sorry for those people who have experienced these terrifying moments, such as people in the building, in the swimming pool, where those ginormous buildings swing, while they're in the swimming pool. It must have been really scary moment. The moment you thought that you might meet the end of your life. And of course it is sad, and people actually missing the loved ones and have to go through this trauma. And I hope that they can cope, and I hope that the Myanmar government could do something. I'm sure they do. But anyway, what I understand, looking at those pictures, the death is not actually because of the earthquake itself. It's actually to do with the man-made structures, those bricks, those material, heavy material structures that collapse on people. Of course, the earthquake actually triggered all this thing, the building to collapse, but collapse on top of people. Now, the only thing that we can remember, I can recall of the natural disaster, such as earthquake that killed people because of the natural elements, was the tsunami back in 2004. It's to do with earthquake that occurred in the sea, and of course ginormous wave known as the tsunami that sucked people into the ocean. Many flown away, far away, and drowned basically. That's really sad, very sad, tragic that happened. But in this case, in Myanmar, all to do with the building structure, a man-made building structure that collapsed on top of people, that caused the death, most of the death. Now, from the artist's perspective, from the artist's point of view, I'm sure has been thought of, I'm still been thinking about. I've seen numbers of after the earthquake that took place in Kathmandu years back, but there were numbers of competition from around the world, to designers, to architects, artists, engineers, to come up with an idea that could be the future solution to prevent death from such event as recently last Friday. But I've seen that. I'm sure there were numbers of Applicants have submitted the idea, the noble idea, for the future solution to prevent more death such as this. I remember the brief was to create this kind of immediate shelter or future home with lightweight material. It is to do with it is lightweight material. The only thing I can remember, lightweight material could mitigate the death. The reason why the death again is to do with the heavyweight material such as brick. Yes, brick, concrete are durable. They are durable material. And of course, in the aftermath of the events of earthquakes such as this recent event, that is actually the structure that again, they're supposed to be durable, that collapsed on some people and fell and killed many innocent people. That is the problem. So now we're looking at the solution. Many architects done before the proposal, engineers around the world, designers, artists to come up with a solution. And many have submitted the ideas. But the question is, where they gone? What have they done to it? Have they come up with an idea? Have they actually implemented this idea? No, they haven't. We see this again. They need to be much more serious about this, much more robust. What is the point of those money that's spent on researchers, expert engineers, architects, designers over those years? It's not being materialized. We see some new building today in the most high risk of countries that with earthquakes such as Myanmar. The construction of building with the conventional material still ongoing, still under construction. And you will watch again. You will see again soon. After this, again you will see another proposal, open competition for the artists, engineers, architects, designers to come up with a future home solution to solve the issue of what had been happening in Myanmar recently. Again, they're going to say asking for shelter, immediate shelter, or light material future home to stop it from happening as this. Many years ago, there was a natural disaster took place in Mexico, somewhere in Mexico. The earthquake struck some part of Mexico, which caused a number of building structures to have collapsed to the ground. However, there were few building structures that survived. The building structure that survived, apparently, the bamboo structures. That proven that bamboo structure is flexible, lightweight, as opposed to bricks, stone, and concrete. That is the advantage of the bamboo structure in that sense. However, the reason why bamboo structure isn't as popular as bricks, concrete, and stone is because the lifespan of bamboo structure isn't as long that it wouldn't last hundreds of years or 1,000 years as opposed to bricks, concrete, and stone. That's the reason. Bamboo maybe last for maybe less than 5 years, maybe less than 2 years, depending how exposed it is to the elements. That wouldn't last long. But the advantage of it is flexible, lightweight, and of course, it's environmentally friendly or eco-friendly material with zero CO2 emission to the environment compared to bricks, concrete, the process of making bricks and concrete. This advantage of bamboo structures because the lifespan. Now, because of this, the advantage of the durability and the long lifespan of bricks and concrete and stone, this building material has become the number one, the major building material that we've seen today in cities, private home, and so on. But the disadvantage of these materials such as brick, concrete, and stone, they are heavyweight material. And in the events of earthquake, which you have seen in the past and recently happened in Myanmar last Friday, the amount of death in the aftermath of this natural disaster It wasn't because of the natural disaster, earthquake itself. It wasn't. It's to do with the building structures, bricks, concrete on those stone and steel, those heavyweight building material structure that collapse, of course, triggered by the earthquake, and a collapse on top of people. And people are buried in the rubble of those bricks. That is a major cause of death. So now, we understand the problem and we understand the cause of death, natural disaster, and the man-made structures. So we're looking for the solution. The solution that have been looked at before. Would be nice if someone come up with an idea, just like the bamboo structure, that is flexible, lightweight, but durable as the bricks and concrete. That will be the future material to solve the current problem that we have with the heavyweight material. That would mitigate, reduce the death in the event of earthquake, natural disaster as this. So hopefully someone come up with a solution, come up with an idea, something that looks convincing. Because the idea is there, but it's about putting them together, and we need the government who has the access to materialize this idea forward.